And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before I even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates to the Patreon, in particular those who donate the producer tier.
Mhm.
Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel,
Dees.
we weren't sure what we were going to talk about for the intro, so I'm just going to wing it. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Zombies have taken over. They're
Oh,
all
no.
over the place, and they're fast.
Oh,
They're fast running zombies. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, and when they get you, they're going to go, "Rah!" And they also spit acid.
What?
Okay. Yeah, like not like it's not like it won't burn you like alien acid, but it'll
Uh-huh.
it'll infect you with the gunk, right? So
Oh.
if they get up close to you and they can kind of spit at you, you can get infected from that.
Okay.
If it gets into a mucous membrane.
Okay. All right.
So these are the context clues for your existence. Now you have to go to a new shelter. You have to exit your domicile and go in a direction hundreds of miles to another location.
Hundreds of miles. Okay.
Hundreds of miles. This is going to be a trek. Okay? How do you
Okay.
prepare? I need
Uh,
a few things. I need your weapons set. I need your armor set. Okay? We'll just assume that like rations and all that are good to go. I
Okay.
want to know how you outfit yourself
Uh-huh.
weapon-wise and how
Okay.
you outfit yourself like armor-wise.
Okay.
And you only have the things that are available to you right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Oh. Okay. Then armor-wise, I would take my like glasses and also my mask that I use when I'm using my airbrush for my minis
Uh-huh.
to protect my mouth and nose so I don't breathe in the zombie acid that would make
Right,
me a
right.
zombie.
Well, they don't
And,
breathe it. It's not aerated. It's
well,
just
yeah,
like,
but I mean it
yeah,
would like to uh and
gotcha.
put on like a long sleeve jacket to just keep myself from being bitten. If that's is that also a thing they do? Do they also
Yeah,
bite
they
or they
still
just
bite.
okay, yeah. Um and then weapon
What
wise,
kind of jacket?
kind of jacket.
Yeah.
I have like a leather jacket that I got for Christmas a long time ago. So
But they can still bite through your jeans, right?
I guess.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, probably
Oh
gonna die.
no. Oh no.
100 miles? You're not gonna make it. Not with that.
Can
You need to really gear up.
do I get to take my car?
Yeah, you can take your car, but it's not gonna go very far. No more gas, and it's been months and months and months. Or we'll say it's been 5 years. So
5 years.
all the gas is gone. It's like it's not. This isn't like Walking Dead where like the gas lasts for like 100 years. Like
Uh-huh.
it'll be dormant. It won't be functional at this point. You're not gonna get any
Oh.
combustion.
Okay. All right. Um, can I? Okay. Well, then I guess going on foot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then weapon-wise, I guess I'm bringing a gun if I can
Oh,
only use what I have.
rookie mistake. Gun's a good backup weapon. What are you thinking? What kind of just your pistol and how many rounds of ammunition you got?
Yeah, if you're saying I can only use what I have right now,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, how many rounds do you have?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Let's say you have 2 boxes.
Okay,
You think that's gonna get you a couple 100 miles?
probably
know.
not.
I don't know.
I don't have like, I mean, I would prefer to use like a something that doesn't make noise.
I think you got about 6 blocks before you start using like a warhammer because you're out of rounds.
Well, you said I could only, I'm not like prepared for this. You said I
Mhm.
could only use what I have.
Okay, well, what else? What's your melee set?
I think maybe like a baseball bat.
Baseball bat's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We have a baseball bat?
I don't have a baseball bat.
Okay, well then you don't have a baseball bat.
You just said
No, you said I had a baseball bat, and I was like, "Do you have a
No, you
baseball bat?" You
asked
said
me
no.
what my melee set would be.
Yeah,
We
if
can't
it was
find
right
one?
now, no, you have to do it from your house, from the things you have.
Fine.
You here trying to renegotiate these rules is
You
bullshit.
just said.
What are you thinking?
Then I guess the leg from a chair.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that'd probably be the best thing I could have for
you're toast. You're not gonna make it.
melee.
You didn't even make any body armor before you left. Oh,
I
you're
I don't
toast.
I don't have things to make body armor.
You have duct tape?
Very little.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. What would you do
What do you mean? What would I do?
for this scenario?
Oh, like if I just had the stuff in my house?
Yeah.
I'm more prepared than you think.
Okay.
So I have a lightning rod, an actual lightning rod. When I was a kid, I went camping and we called it the Rod of Ruin because we were Magic players and we're dorks. And so there's it's this like maybe it weighs like 10 pounds. It's like this fucking really heavy metal. It looks like almost like a railroad spike, but like super long, like maybe 5 feet.
Yeah.
And it weighs quite a bit. When I was younger, it was really heavy to carry, and I found it early when we were hiking to this camp where we were going to be out by the lake, and I had to carry it the whole way, and it sucked. But like I told myself, I'm not leaving this behind because it's too rad, right? And so I carried it the whole way and the whole way back, and it weighed so much for a little kid to carry. But
Yeah.
now I can carry it no problem. So, but that for sure would be a pretty solid weapon, like a pole arm, just like, you know?
Yeah.
And it's also metal and it's made to be hit by lightning, so it's gonna be good, I think.
It's pretty durable.
Yeah. I think probably if I'm going long distance, probably too heavy, but I just wanted to make mention of that lightning rod because I never talked about it. I think first things first, you got to make armor, right? And so layers are important. Things that will make it resistant to bite mark but won't restrict your movement too much. So I'm thinking I've got these kind of durable cargo pants. And I would probably reinforce those with like duct tape and a bunch of this foam padding that I have. It wouldn't be necessarily like it wouldn't prevent like a knife, but I think that it would be enough protection that even if they were to bite through it, the bite wouldn't make it all the way to my leg. So I'd probably do that, like make bracers and arm pieces, so to kind of give yourself some protection. I wish I still had those old football pads. I would probably wear some of those. I think I have a leather jacket with long button-ups at the end, so I could tighten those pretty tight. I got like work gloves for the garden that have like rubberized fronts on them.
Oh yeah.
So that would be pretty helpful, I think. I think big boots seem like it would be a good option at first, but I think you're gonna have to be pretty mobile, and those would get in the way. So probably I just use regular, like sneakers or shoes. Maybe I have a pair of Converse somewhere, and then tape up on the ankle bit so I can tape the pants into them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I think one of my melee weapons would be a tarp. With rocks tied into the corners.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way, anytime zombies came at me, if it was like one or two of them at a time, I could crowd control one of them by just throwing it over them.
Oh.
And then I could just handle the other one while they dealt with that.
Yeah. But then you're also carrying a bunch of rocks around.
No, they're little. Just enough to weigh it down so that it holds down over them so they don't just pull the sheet off.
Yeah.
I think trash can lid is always a good go-to. I think you just formulate cut like 2 holes in the sides of it, and then use twisted up duct tape to create sort of like an arm strap for it, so you can have a shield. I think shields are super, super important.
Yeah.
Because it reduces your attack angle, which is how zombies get you. And then I have a bunch of really gnarly kitchen knives which are pretty pimp. I
Mhm.
think the piercing weapon is probably better for zombies. These are fast, so ideally I'd want a pole arm,
Uh-huh.
something um maybe with a sharp end on one side and a really long sharp end on the other. So that way you could hold the shield up and kind of pierce them, or
Oh.
step it around, flip it back over if you're in close quarter, so you can just kind of forward jab with the backhand.
Mhm.
Um, I think that's where I'm at. Maybe maybe a chain seems pretty good. Like a chain with like a ball or something heavy on the end. I can swing it around and wrap it around their feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have a lot of heavy stuff with you.
I'm much bigger than you. Shouldn't be a problem for me. Um, I think the trash can lid's pretty easy because they're easy enough for people to kind of manually handle during the day, right? So
Yeah.
that's not like some huge thing.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't need to be super sturdy. Like I'm not stopping attacks from like heavy weaponry,
Hmm.
right? I'm
Yeah.
just stopping like bites,
Hmm.
right? Hand to hand bites and stuff like that. So like a plastic trash can lid would be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Just it's just a repellent. It doesn't need to like withstand a mace or a warhammer hit.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think you gotta tape up your jacket, right? So like if
Hmm.
it's a leather coat, you need to tape up the arms and like in the flat parts, like from the elbow to the wrist, that needs to be super taped up so that it's like resistant.
Yeah.
And then the same thing on like the arms, like the just like a little bit below the shoulder, all the way down to where the elbow is. That needs to be taped up pretty good.
Hmm.
And the same thing with the rest of it. There should be tape, like uh, what am I thinking? Duct tape,
Yeah.
kind of over the shoulders, and then around like where the collar would be.
Hmm.
And I think that that would be pretty effective. And then
Yeah.
cargo pants, the same thing. You kind of it doesn't need to be super tight, right? It just needs to give another layer of protection so the teeth don't go through.
Hmm.
I think that's probably how I outfit my gear.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think um we have a spike hammer, this hammer that is used for like nailing down spikes for like tents and for like you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty large. Could do a lot of damage with that. Short, so it doesn't require a whole lot of space to operate. So if I'm in a hallway or something, it's still functional. But I think long knife is probably the move,
Hmm.
or like a spike. Maybe if I could find a way to circular saw that rod down into a sharp spike, metal spike, that'd be pretty good. What do you think? You think this sounds effective?
I think you've given this more thought than I have.
It sounds stupid, but I think that you should always take 10, 15 minutes when you got some downtime. Just think
Mhm.
about like, when you ever walk into a room, what's the first thing you do when you walk into a room?
I don't know. Look at
I'm
the
probably
room.
I'm the only person probably you've ever met that does this like legitimately.
Huh.
Do you ever look for the exits and then security cameras? I don't know why I do that. I swear to God, I do that.
If I'm going somewhere like public, if it's like, a conference or a movie theater or whatever, I do like look at the exits just in case there's like a
Yeah.
fire or something like that.
Do you ever count security cameras when you walk into a bank or into a Walmart or something like that?
No,
I
never.
always do that. I always do that. And I'll put my hat low, so if I'm ever at like the self-checkout where they have that like dead on camera,
Yeah.
they only get the bottom part of my face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so my hat will like cover it.
Hmm.
I've gotten real good about the not look directly up thing too, about how I turn my face sideways and look out of the corner. I
Yeah.
can count. Whenever I go to a bank for something, I'm just like 6, and I leave. I'm like, there's 6 in there.
Oh.
I don't know why I do that. It's just training.
Your rogue training.
Yeah, that's my natural rogueness. My dad taught me one time that you should remember all license plates and try to like put them into your mind. But that is so exhausting because there's so many cars.
Yeah.
So it's just like, ugh, I want to do that. I'll try to remember the ones that look suspicious.
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna do all of them.
I'll do that sometimes if like a car seems especially sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's that? What do you think would be the hardest part of a zombie apocalypse?
Um,
Do you think it's the zombies? Do you think it's the scavenging?
I
Do you think
think
it's people? Everyone always likes saying that.
I think scavenging would be difficult, especially like getting clean water.
Clean water is the easiest thing in the world.
Well, if you live somewhere that isn't close to a water source, right?
It rains, doesn't it?
If
It
you,
gets
you
it gets
say you live
dewy
in
in the morning.
say you live in the desert in a town that draws water from an aquifer.
If you live in a desert that
Hmm.
draws water from an aquifer,
Yeah.
you think there's gonna be a lot of zombies out there in the desert?
Okay, so I grew up in a city called Lubbock,
Yeah,
which is built on top of a mesa in a desert.
yeah,
The water they get is from the Ogallala Aquifer, which is underground.
right. Okay.
So, like,
Do you-
how would you get water then?
well, you're next to a bay, so I assume it's pretty humid,
A bay?
like the Gulf, right?
No, it's in the Panhandle.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. Do you ever have fog in the mornings?
No, not in Texas.
Hmm. Well, you have trees and cactuses and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then there is water, right?
Okay.
I mean, there is water. You're not talking about you
Yeah.
didn't live on the fucking moon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How many people lived in Lubbock? That's where you're from.
Like, I think it was like over 500,000 when I lived there.
Okay, so there's going to be a good portion of zombies, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Right. So then, but it's pretty flat area, right?
Yes, it's extremely flat.
Right. So good line of sight. So you probably want to get somewhere away from where the city is, right?
Mhm.
There's cactuses and stuff like that, I assume.
Um, some, but it's more like scrubby mesquite.
I don't know what that means.
It's
Scrubby
a tree,
mesquite.
like trees,
Oh,
like
okay.
mesquite trees.
Yeah, they draw water though, so
Mhm.
then maybe you could like just find a few of those trees, cut like a niche in the bottom, and then put a collection at the bottom to try to get, or you could just pull out the roots if there are a lot of them. It's
Uh-huh.
not like a time concern. I assume if you're in Lubbock, Texas, you're trying to get the fuck out of Lubbock, right?
That's
I mean,
fair.
people that are born there now are probably trying to get out of there. So I imagine in a
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse, you'd really want to be moving.
Right.
Here's a trick though: if you need to get water, you can
Mhm.
just take a tarp, like a plastic tarp, right?
Hmm.
And you can just put it up, like tie it to two corners of a tree, and then put it on two sticks so that it has like a little dip in the middle, and then go to sleep. And the next morning when you wake up, there will be dew or mist or moisture in there, and then you just kind of drain that off into a cup, and you have to boil it. Still probably get sick from bacteria and stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a good way to collect water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas kind of would be a shitty place to be, though. I'm being
Yeah.
totally honest.
Yeah.
Though you wouldn't run out of ammunition if you were there. I imagine there'd be quite a bit of that.
That's true. Every zombie that you killed would have more ammunition on them.
Yeah, you just hit them and they explode into fucking 9mm. I don't know. I think this is something we should think about. How about this?
Mhm.
How about next week we
Mhm.
do a recap on how we would survive? Okay, in Lubbock, Texas,
Uh-huh.
zombie apocalypse. That's the context that we'll use. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And if you're listening to this and
Uh-huh.
you have some interesting ideas, give us your zombie apocalypse preparation.
Yeah.
Give us, I want to know weaponry and I want to know armor if you plan on doing armor. I don't know. Maybe you're a weirdo and you just want to run around naked with a machete. I don't know. But armor seems like a good idea.
Mhm.
And then if there's any like survival tips that you can think of in an air, like a shitty desert climate,
Mhm.
like Lubbock.
Okay.
You want to go to the episode?
I would love to.
Do you feel like you were unprepared for this zombie apocalypse?
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe next time you'll be better off. You know what would be funny is if
What?
everybody was like part of this conversation, we all had this conversation, and then fucking 2 weeks from now, oh shit.
Oh.
And everyone's like, thank God I listened to the Freelance Heroism podcast. Because
You
I've done my due
reminded me.
diligence.
Right.
We were playing this stupid little game, and now here I am,
Yeah.
ready to survive. And you know what? That'll be great for our numbers because there won't be any other podcasts because they'll all die. And we would have thought about this ahead of time. And so all podcast listeners in the future will be freelance heroism listeners.
Wow.
For this reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is podcast Darwinism right here. All right, episode. Sorry.
Okay. So this is Return to Ravenloft, Season 3, Episode 43, New Hire.
New hire.
Yep.
I know exactly what this is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to say?
You want me to spoil it before the fucking episode? I wouldn't do that to my freelance heroism listeners. They survived a zombie apocalypse, and they deserve to have an unspoiled episode.
Okay.
Hey, okay,
Hey.
game time.
Mhm.
That conversation was so much fun. I didn't want to stop having it. Okay, so where do we leave off?
Dinner.
Right.
You guys set up for a big dinner and parentheses no poison and
Mm.
That's right.
had everybody at the table.
A no poison dinner.
I was so pissed off last time because I was literally over here like prepping for this thing, and then D-Walk is just like mentioning poisons and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? How does he know? How the fuck is he? Stop! Like, stop talking about that.
The DM knows all.
I didn't tell him ahead of time. I was gonna surprise him.
I did say you did. I'm just saying the DM knows all.
I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? How does he know?
Do you honestly think we'll be surprised if you try to poison us again?
Again?
Yeah. Yeah, trust me. If I'm poisoning you, you will be surprised. You won't even know it's happening. And if it weren't for Rachel, who fucking decided she wanted to be Superman that particular 5 minutes,
Was somebody making a lot of Constitution saves?
she was rolling like cure poison and
Yeah.
cleanse, and she was. I was like, what is she? Stop it! I was like, you know what?
Why
We're gonna go to the old.
wouldn't I?
We're
How
gonna go to
dare
the old
you not want to
standby
die?
roll of
Ugh.
quarters. It's gonna be Rachel's poison next time.
Bag a sock with a bunch of bars of soap in it.
Oh man, blanket party. Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you order this code red? You're goddamn right I did. I love Mountain Dew Code Red. I think that shit is gross. It tastes like fucking like cough syrup. Mountain Dew with cough syrup. What's the blue one though? The one from Taco Bell.
Baja
The
Blast.
Baja
Baja
Blast.
Blast.
Yep.
I'm ashamed to say that one's pretty good. I really do feel a little shitty about saying it, but whatever chemical mixture they've come up with is pretty solid.
Baja Blast also sounds like a perfect euphemism for eating a Taco Bell if you think about it.
I don't know what the hell is on their menu at any day, like moment to moment. I have no fucking clue.
They do change. Taco
But we're
Bell
talking
has
about-
6 ingredients and 850 menu items.
We
that
were
revolve
talking
around
about how many logos they had the other day, and I read them all off to Rachel, and she's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, they can't figure it out."
Yeah.
Fourth meal, Yakiro Taco Bell.
Hmm.
Eat outside, eat fresh, eat outside, think outside the bun.
Subway.
Fucking like 10 million of those fucking things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
All
like,
right.
fourth meal is just like, hey, drunk people, you get it, right?
Yeah. Jack in the Box is the same way. Jack in
Yes.
the Box has what's called the munchie meal, and it's exactly
Yeah.
targeted towards who you think it's targeted
Yeah, of
towards.
course it is.
And for the
Oh, yeah.
longest time, it was only offered after 11 p.m.
And
Go
before
figure.
4 a.m.
Yes. Go figure.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
Those guys get
I-
hungry too. It'd be a market that you're not going to target.
Yeah.
Come on.
I like to think that Jack in the Box is where you go when you're hungry for grease with a side of fries.
I'm hungry for grease with a side of fries right now.
All right.
Dinner
So we
concludes.
okay.
Go for it.
I was just gonna ask if we were
Okay.
post dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Dinner concludes, and what is everybody doing?
Probably reading.
Okay.
So when you say dinner concludes, you mean we've eaten and we've all vacated the table. We're not still sitting around having a conversation post dinner.
We've all
You could
died
be.
at the table.
Yeah,
You
everyone's
could be.
asleep at the table.
You
Kaeviir's
could
just
be.
reading, enjoying the silence.
No, so Kaeviir is still at the table and kind of relaxing, smoking a pipe, reading.
All right.
I will say the two Raynes have been having a conversation amongst themselves, trying to determine how similar and how dissimilar they are. Talking about family, talking about their growing up and experiences and things of that nature, and finding out that they do have some things in common, but for the most part, they are very, very different from one another.
All right.
Adrie and Adrie will uh probably like I think just compare hits basically, just like looking at each other's armor. Dragon Heist Adrie is gonna be like, "Can I hold your sword?" It's like all like just sort of going from subject to subject. Um, I think Dragon Heist Adrie is sort of more almost more animated or more energetic. Because she sort of switches uh sort of things that she's interested in very quickly. So it goes from like, can I hold your sword? Can I try on your helmet? Here, check out my cool tuning fork that can detect magic and do all sorts of cool stuff. You have to hit it against something. No, not like that. No, not like that. No. Okay, let me show you how you do it.
All right. Um, Brandon's on the helm at the top. Carglass is off protecting the door as always. Serena's kind of following the younger Victor around, watching him, kind of reminiscing about the past. Relena's down sharpening her weapons, going through all her collection, making sure all her swords and knives are clean. Nick is on deck. Thrasta and Ludo are up on deck too, with
Jander.
Jander. And that's when you guys all hear one of the cannons go off.
Captain.
Then the second go off.
Captain.
Cannons.
Our cannons are going off, or
Yep.
we're hearing.
No, your cannons are going off.
I'm gonna look over like Captain.
I am just as surprised as you are. I was under the impression we weren't shooting people off of the ship anymore.
Absolutely. And,
I-
if only we had someone whose job it was to check on that.
Both of the Adries get up and they're both like, I'll go check it out.
I'm making my way. So, who is not among us?
Victor and Hawk.
Oh boy.
No.
So anybody like to take a bet as to who just shot who off the ship? Are the cannons on the port or the starboard side? Which ones are going off?
Both. You
Well,
heard the
that's
first one go off on one side, then you heard the other one go off on the other.
well, I'll go to the one where I'll go to the side where the last shot was heard from and see if I can see a tiny little kobold shooting off into the distance or a very small child, one way or the other.
Neither. You see the two of them very ecstatic and energetic about the cannon that can shoot magic.
What in the hell are you two doing down there?
Yeah. Hawks is like, Hawks likes to play with small Victor.
Get up here now.
Hawks coming. Victor's like, how much trouble are we in? Hawks think we in big trouble. Victor, my fault.
What part of don't touch things were you unclear on? Might I ask?
The don't
The
part.
cannon part, right? Yes, the cannon part. Did you shoot anything off other than just the cannons themselves? Please tell me that you weren't. Okay.
No, Victor shakes his head. No, we didn't shoot anything. Hawks saw nothing shot.
I want you to both go sit over there. I want you to
They
sit on
both
your
walk over.
hands.
They sit on their hands.
Don't
Victor's like,
move.
the hell? You let him talk to you like that?
I go look for
Hawks, he's the
Dragon.
captain.
I go look for Dragon Heist Adrie.
She is heading upstairs to the where the cannons are with original Adrie, but still like kind of looking back at her and talking very excitedly as they're heading up the stairs.
So sorry to interrupt your conversation with yourself. Can you please maybe keep an eye on your brother? Maybe. I just keep him by your side for a little bit because I don't need him shooting the cannons off and giving away our position to anyone that might be looking for us. Please. Or do I need to shove him back through the mirror?
Can I examine the cannons you use? Because they sounded a little differently from regular cannons, so
They are.
yeah.
Is Kaeviir anywhere within eyesight of me?
I'm walking up the stairs with the book.
Boss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to have to worry about the cannons being fired off anymore, but there's been a request to examine them further.
Yeah, just don't fire them. We'd not like to give away our position if we don't have to.
I just kind of do that little that sort of thing.
Have you considered a silence spell on your cannons?
I hadn't. So, I mean, they have to be cast using a spell, correct? So if
Well, you just
slot was using a component.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can do like a permanent silence or something that replicates a silence spell.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I'll take the note down.
Well, I can take a look at them.
You can take a look at them if you want. They're out and about. It's not like I'm not hiding them.
Yeah. Well, why would you hide a cannon then? Doesn't make sense.
Well, sometimes we have to because otherwise people start leaving the ship involuntarily.
We had some trouble with people firing each other off of the deck.
It's all fun and games until you fire someone into the side of a cliff.
It was a loose ship while Victor was in charge.
When they die?
Well, they're already dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got to put them back together, but
yeah. Like the Brendan turns around and like does a salute. Hey.
Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense.
All right. I'm gonna go back up if that's okay. Make sure that nobody else is messing with anything.
Time out. Nate, you've got our you're doing it backwards, I think. The cannons are on the top part of the ship on the deck.
Oh, I keep thinking that they're like below.
No, they're on the top. Like we have like kind of, let me just describe this once just so we all have it locked in. The side of the boat is rounded like the side of a ship.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the deck there's like a subdued part, like a little cube where the cannon's base sits. And then that way we can move around without them shaking or moving all over the place. And then they just kind of sit in a groove on the thing so you can aim them. But I'm sorry, it's not disruptive or anything, but I just wanted to make sure we all have the visual. So like, the very bottom is where the bedrooms are. The next floor up is where Kaeviir's lab on the front, and then the library area, the prep room, our meeting room. And then on the other side of that, there's 2 staircases that go up to the top, and then in between the cubby holes that we never used that I designed, but no one ever uses because fuck you guys.
Okay.
It was like, go up there, go down there.
Yeah.
I was like, we're backwards from where we are on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, didn't mean to make work, but I just wanted because it was going to be more complicated later on when it comes time to like do combat on the ship.
Yeah.
You know, I have to run downstairs, and then you get down there, and the cannons are upstairs. It's like, oh shit,
Like, where are these cannons at?
where are these fucking cannons at? Yeah.
All right. Well, Dragon Heist Adrie is going to spend post dinner sort of tinkering with the cannons to
Don't
learn.
tinker. Learn about.
I'm
but don't.
just learning about them.
Right.
Also,
Victor and Hawks are watching very patiently.
probably, like how often do you take these apart for cleaning?
Infrequently.
Well, there you go.
Well, we haven't fired them often.
They
and
were just fired.
They use magic to fire, which leaves no residue.
Well, then when they're taken apart, they should be very easy to clean.
Would you like a job cleaning cannons?
Not a job cleaning cannons, but I would like to look at the cannons and learn how they're assembled.
So you're saying that the cannon cleanliness is not your purview?
And while I'm taking them apart to learn how they work,
What if we get attacked while you're disassembling our cannons?
you'll have another cannon to fire.
Right. We only ever get attacked by one enemy.
I won't
It's fine. It's
fully
fine. It's
take
fine.
the cannons
Just
apart.
make sure that they can be reassembled quickly if we need them.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna roll my eyes so fucking hard. Like,
When Kaeviir turns around, Dragon Heist Adrie is gonna look over at Victor and roll her eyes. Like, can you believe that
He-
guy?
Victor kind of shrugs at you.
I don't think Victor has much of a leg to stand on right now, given his position. He probably shouldn't say anything.
so we've
Victor
been
walks
to
over. Go for
we've
it.
been to a mirror verse where everyone was evil. This must be the annoying mouthy one. Was everyone over there like this? And I'm gonna look over at Mirror Rayne. Like, yeah. Yeah, I think it's holding in. I think that's exactly what's going on. Just a real chatty universe over there. A lot of talking.
I wouldn't imagine people talk on my side of the mirror any more than they do over here.
Maybe people just don't talk to you.
Boy, if only the world could be so simple. Let me know if we find
Whoa.
that mirror and give me the coordinates.
Oh.
Ludo,
Yeah, what's up?
need a moment?
Yeah, coming. He looks at the other two. Just goes to Paul Kaeviir.
All right, we're gonna go down to the lab, close the door. And
All
then
right.
we can go back to everyone else. We'll come back to this.
All right.
Ooh, secret.
I'm just sitting here thinking that before he
Okay.
leaves, Ludo does some sort of elaborate elven thieves' cant to the others, just like, make more trellises, make more trellises.
The vines are growing as fast as we can.
He's gone. Thatch, you bastards, thatch.
Everybody start writing prose.
You're gonna come back and the whole deck of the ship is gonna look like one of those gaudy wedding places that people are in.
Yeah, it's kind of like the side of a wedding cake from Rivendell.
Ugh.
Dragon Heist Adrie is gonna spend her evening looking at the cannons and kind of keeping an eye on Victor and probably Hawks too. And just sort of getting them to like bring her tools. Like she'll cast light on something and then make them hold it like it's the flashlight.
Fifth element. Light, Aziz.
Yes.
Once Victor thinks to recognize Victor thinks everyone's kind of out of range, he goes up to his Adrie. Can we take Hawks home with us?
He's not a stray.
But he doesn't have any family. He his sister's like Dead Skull talks to him, but that's like there's a culture that like wiped out his whole family.
Well, I mean, he's traveling with these people. We can't just take him.
Relina says it's very dangerous where they're going.
if he wants to, but we can't.
Can you
It's
imagine him at Blackstaff Tower?
oh my God.
Just getting excited.
Look, we don't know anything about these people really. All right. We can I'm not going to make any promises right now. Okay. We'll get to know him, see what he wants, if he would even want to come with us, but we can't, like, he's not like a puppy on the street, Victor. We can't just take someone and take them back to our
I mean,
world.
In all
I'm not
fairness, you can't take a puppy off the street either. That's some fucked up shit. It might belong to somebody.
He's like, I'm not talking like one of the ponies mom used to get you. I'm talking like, you're like, did he needs friends?
Victor, we don't.
Please.
Let's see. I'm not making any promises. I haven't even talked to him. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that you two were getting in trouble.
Like his
I have a
magic's like
luck.
innate. It's in him. It's a
Uh-huh.
part of him.
Uh-huh.
I have to like bend magic to my will to use.
That's because you're
But him,
stupid.
so do you.
So do I. So do I, stupid?
Your magic doesn't like come out of you. It's not like in your blood. It's
So
we
do
make
I
it
is
work.
be dumb. Ass.
Like, I have to study, you have to study.
Okay, what I do is not wizardry, okay? It's
No kidding.
it's very different.
You tinker. I'm sorry.
I am capable of replicating the effects of the weave, okay? I don't have to tap into the weave. I can just make it myself. That's better.
Do you want the silence spell on a coin or not?
Yes, I want the silent spell on a coin.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's get to know what's his name? Hawks?
Mhm.
Let's get to know Hawks first, okay? And then
Okay.
see what he wants. And also, I would like to know his opinion on ponies because I'm building a new stable on the grounds right now. So I don't want him to like, I don't know. Do kobolds eat ponies?
No, they eat chickens.
We don't have any chickens.
They were good.
What would we feed him?
Chicken. But we don't have any like pet chickens.
No.
We could put them in Raven's lab. Or I could take him to the house with me.
No. Okay. Let's get to know him first, okay? All
All
right.
right. Hey, Hawks, come meet Adrie. The other Adrie.
All right.
Hawks says hi.
Hi, Hawks. I'm Adrie.
My sister says you're a good person.
Your sister?
Hawks holds up the skull.
Oh. She'll look at the skull and be like, "It's nice to meet you too."
He shakes the skull.
Huh. Okay.
Hawk's sister says you have a friend too.
The hand?
Hawks nods.
They all know each other?
Victor's like, I told you it was a ghost.
All right. I want to take this cannon apart, and I need to do it while Kaeviir is still in his lab. Okay, so both of you hold these light rocks and let me get to work.
They both hold him up. So, anything on your side, Rayne?
I don't know. I was just sitting here wondering at what point Victor was going to come to Dragon Heist Rayne and go, can we take Hawks home with them? Adrie
that's
said I
gonna be
should
next.
ask you. You know, start playing us off like mom and dad. And
He's
shit.
like, Rayne's like, what did your sister say?
She said whatever you think was fine. I imagine that Rayne and DH Rayne have gone back up to the bridge, just steering the ship along, continuing to have conversations. I I think a lot of what they're going to talk about probably centers around the difference between the two of them. One kind of embracing his sea legs, and the other sort of rejecting them to a degree. Not that Dragon Heist Rayne was like, averse to sailing, but he left the family business to his sister and decided to take up a life of politics on land. So they'll be having a bit of that conversation, I think. Who else is on deck?
You got
Original
Brendan.
Adrie.
Yep. Original Adrie, Brendan, and now Thresta and Jander are at the bow.
Adrie will go over to hang out with her mom.
So you don't happen to have a copy of that contract on you that you said you had to sign, did you? I was kind of thinking maybe I'd take a look at it and see if I could figure out to what degree you're screwed. Yeah, I got it under somewhere. Give me a second. I'll rustle around. I'll find the latest copy of the contract that I've got. DH Rain will
Oh,
pull a
that's
small
great.
pull out a small set of spectacles from his coat pocket, put them on, and begin to read.
Oh.
You'll see. He just as he reads, he goes through various facial expressions, some amused, some horrified, some confused. Why
Like,
on earth? Why on earth would you agree to this clause right here? And he just kind of points to it. He so was being taking over this ship that important to you that you needed to sign something like this? Because I would have never signed anything like this in my life. Look, I decided to stay with this crew because I needed them. I was sick and tired of being cursed. And it's one thing to be a pirate. It's one thing to be a captain. It's another thing to turn into a shark, worried about killing your own crew, worried about losing your ability to control your shape shifting, worried about what kind of monster I was going to become. Even though I know some people will say I'm a monster already because of what I do, but I needed these two. And in a roundabout way, I got what I needed. Maybe not quite exactly how I expected it, but they helped me out of, a jam. And I feel I owe it to them to return the favor. And if that meant signing a piece of paper in order to do so, then so be it. The Rains will have had a conversation kind of filling DH Rayne in on, the whole thing with Adrie and her memory loss and all that stuff, so that he kind of gets caught up to speed as they sort of travel along, sort of slowly drifting amongst the clouds. And that's kind of what they'll do, for the remainder until the next thing comes along that has to be dealt with.
Sounds good. Is there anything Original Adrie wants to do on deck before we go below?
I figure she's probably just gonna go like hang out with her mom.
Okay.
As, the cool kids do. Is they go find their mom and hang out with them.
Ooh.
She's like, honey, come here, grab this straw.
You've got something on your face. Oh, that's just your face. Ew.
Mean.
Kidding.
Like-
Everyone in our family has teardrop tattoos. You gotta get one.
I'm sorry, it's me, but I was like, you got a little something on your forehead. Nah.
All
Uses
right.
her entire arm to clean. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
All good. So, all right. It seems to be, I mean, just normal talk between you and her catching up. Jander sitting quiet off to the side. So,
Sorry again about attacking you all those times when I was Cass.
it's all good. I got a few clones out there. Who knows what they're up to?
Like mirrors?
No, actual clones.
Oh,
That mirror thing threw me for a loop when Ludo first told me about it.
huh.
But yeah, he's like, "Hey, you want to go on a trip?" And I was like, "Where?" He's like, "Through a mirror to another world and back to another world." Oops. First off, he has a way to actually get out of Ravenloft that doesn't include death,
Mhm.
but even death doesn't escape it. And then he's like, "We're going to a darker world that's more scary or more deadlier." I was like, "Sure, sign me up. Let's do this."
Well, good luck. Um, and if you're not back in 6 months, then I'll be there.
If we can't kill it in 6 months, we're probably going to need help.
Adrie will nod.
So necromancer, huh? The rest of nods. Yeah.
But you've killed him once before. I mean, a different
Uh,
version, so
yeah.
you can do it again.
I'm not worried about killing it again. I'm worried about what's behind it this time.
Hmm. What do you mean?
It just, from what your father's told me about the other world, it seems like something's pushing the necromancer. They won in that
Mhm.
world. They were able to defeat us all. But and then they raised you.
Yeah.
I, I don't know. I'd like to think there's something that we couldn't get beat just by the necromancer itself. Like they're uh, ego or something likes to think there's something else behind it.
Well, whatever it is, you'll be able to take care of it.
Yeah. So am I the only one worried about what Ludo and Kaeviir are up to downstairs?
They play chess a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know your father could sit still that long.
Well, they usually don't have a board. They
Okay.
just talk through the movements, usually while we're traveling together.
That makes more sense.
Mhm.
All right. Huh. That makes a lot more sense. We'll switch below deck unless there's anything else. All right. Below deck, Kaeviir.
Ludo,
Kaeviir.
we've come to interact multiple times recently.
Yeah.
You're capable. Not good. You're capable, which is a start.
He's still my heart. A compliment.
I'm curious, what are your plans for the future?
Mm. The immediate ones is we go put a necromancer down, get her paladin restored.
And then
I'm not sure. Can't go home. Um, not because I'm not saying we can't get there. I'm just everyone thinks I'm dead and a betrayer. So it's
a lot
God
of people,
knows what my family's doing.
a lot of people don't know this, but I started as a bit of a performer myself.
Makes sense with the instruments.
I was a juggler, actually.
All right.
Something about people who perform is that you're repeatedly tested. A lot of people watching you. There's a lot of pressure to get things right, to do things the right way, and to practice and repeat the same motions, the same gestures. It's a lot of training involved, whether or not people tend to consider it training. It is what it is. And if anyone that performs in front of a live crowd multiple times knows that. Do you say you feel like you train fairly often?
Every time I'm playing, probably.
I find that there are a lot of things that I look for in people. One of them is capability, their skill set, their ability to intuit. But I think maybe one of the things that even I take for granted sometimes is the ability to be in the right place at the right time. Just find yourself there, almost as if there's an instinct to be where you're needed to be. You always seem to be right where you're needed to be. Not interesting. That might be the most impressive thing about you, actually.
Hmm.
Okay. I think I've convinced myself. Do you know about where I'm from? Have you ever heard rumor, tale
Of the professional,
of the professionals? Yeah.
I've heard of them.
A lot of people have.
Not much. Most of it I know it's from hearing you or Adrie speak of you.
Well, back home right now, there seems to be some conflict, and I hate to be the one to throw myself under into the fire, but I seem to be one of the causes. See, there's I don't know how to say, a power vacuum right now. The leadership is sort of splintered as to direction, and the leader that was sort of causing that splinter, I stabbed through the eye, and now he's dead, and now there's no leader. Now, according to the rules, I should be the leader, but I don't feel like that's
Being
much of
followed.
a system for me, really. I think anyone who yearns for power is probably
Not the one you want in
not the
power.
exactly. So it seems to me that maybe our forces, there's conflict, there's open betrayals, and I would like to maybe fill our ranks, so to speak, with people that know where to be.
Okay. This is intriguing.
I would like to invite you to train to become a professional.
Okay.
You'll find that my recommendation will carry you quite a long way. But this is not a weekend trip.
No.
You don't leave the professionals. You may disagree. You might vocalize that disagreement. You might dodge a few assassination attempts, and then run, and then kill the leader, and then run again, and then kill a bunch of them. Look, it's complicated. The point that I'm making, though, is that there's a lot of people right now that are serving as professionals that don't deserve to wear the coat. Their mark marks us in a way that I feel you'll come to understand is not necessarily reflective of what we want. I'm going to walk over to my bookshelf,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to pull a bunch of books off, and then from behind pull up a little bit from behind one of the shelves, kind of thin leather manuscript. Take it out, set it down, put the books back. The first professional that I served under was the first professional, Skaraxi. You ever heard of him? Probably not. Well,
Ludo shakes his head.
he was a shadow. I don't mean that as a metaphor. I mean that in reality, he was a shadow.
That's rare.
It's exceptionally rare. And even more exceptionally rare is his behavior, his wisdom. And what he did for us was to make us into something better than we could ever be on our own. And I hope to return the favor to you. I'm going to hand him the book.
Thank you. He begins to open it and
No,
not yet. Closes it.
are you willing to accept that you're going to be made aware that you don't really know anything? Pride was my issue.
Vanity is mine.
Do you agree?
I agree.
All right. I'm going to need you to take your coat, and I'm going to need you to take your shirt off.
Takes off the coat and the shirt.
Grab him by his back of his neck, and I'm like, it's going to hurt. And I'm going to push him down on the desk, just kind of knocking stuff apart. And I'm going to take the back part of a dagger, and I'm going to smash right on his shoulder, making his skin kind of red like a welt, and then turn it around, and I'm going to carve into his shoulder a particular shape with the blade, and then flip it back around and press the dagger down the flat part on it and press. I'm just going to hold it there and then lift up. All right.
That was different.
Someone will find you, and they will take you to the Dark Spire, and you'll begin your training. They'll know when you're ready.
All right.
All right, stand up.
He does and begins to put his shirt back on.
Until you complete your training, you keep this quiet. And if you ever see
He does the like Ziploc lifts key thing with his hand and checks the key.
I'm going to push the book against him. Do not lose that. That is the most valuable thing that I own.
Understood.
Okay. So normally it's more ceremonial than this. I don't have the brazier, and I don't have the blue flowers. I don't have any of the tools, but they'll take care of you once you get to the spire. As a trainee, you'll be untouchable for a little while. You're going to have to do everything they say. I don't know who the current Lord of Learning is, but you're going to have to study very hard. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be difficult. And when you're done, If you make it, they'll give you a number. And from there, that's on you, how you handle the rest of it.
Understood.
Remember who your friends are, and never trust a yellow ribbon.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, and shortly she will have heard of you.
Understood.
All right. Get out of my office.
He gracefully bows. Walks out. Heads up deck.
I'm going to close the door again behind him.
All right.
This is not something Kaeviir does frequently. All right. I'm going to start making notes.
Okay. Ludo makes it up on deck and plops between Adrie and Thrasta.
Hey,
Hey. Puts an
so
armor on both of them. I want to make a memory here before we head off into darkness against the necromancer.
okay. Adrie
Memory made.
will hug him. Well, you're all gonna be great.
I would have kicked his ass last time if I was survived and was there. But no, I had to go to Ravenloft. Barovia.
Well, just be careful. The warlock is there, and I think he's in some position of power. I think he works with the necromancer.
Rorden. I never got to run him through the right way. I'm looking forward to this. The rest is not if I do it first.
Just be careful. He'll know your faces, even if it's not you.
Ludo gives you a wink. And that's what he's not expecting. I expect a massive conniption fit if he sees your mother.
Yeah. Well,
And that's when you poke him in the eye.
just be careful. And
Ludo, he kind of nods towards DH Adrie. She okay?
she seems like she's always looking for a distraction.
All right.
She seems nice, but
She does.
yeah. Her and Victor are siblings. They adopted Victor.
Yeah. You mentioned his dad was grim.
I don't know who that is.
The rest leans over. That's someone who used to fight with us against the necromancer back in the day.
Oh,
He was part of our original party.
oh.
But Victor had different parents in this world. That's weird.
Yeah, our Victor was the son of the burgomaster. I don't think his name was Grim, though.
No. No. Valakovich. Ludo said.
Oh.
That's odd. I wonder if he was actually Grimm's. The Grimm we knew had a soft heart for kids,
Hmm.
but he never had any before he died.
Hmm.
You remember that silver katana I used to wield? You're probably pulling it up on your sheet because you have it.
I don't think I have it, but
Okay.
Adrie will nod. She'll say, I remember.
That was Grimm's.
Oh.
It came through with me.
Is he still? No.
Ludo nodded. That's how I had his sword.
Oh.
Lich got him.
Sorry.
He was a hell of a shot with a bow, though. Damn. But he really liked to hunt werewolves.
Hmm.
So we probably should get moving, though.
Kaeviir's gonna step up to the deck. It's good talking to you, Ludo. He's gonna slap him on the right shoulder.
Mhm. Hey, we're gonna have to borrow your mirror that goes to the dark world.
You can use it.
I'm not gonna enter your lab without permission, though.
That is very respectful of you.
The rest have told me I need to respect more boundaries than I do.
Oh, you're gonna get a lot of that, I imagine. But it's good to see you turning over a new leaf.
The rest is, he always behaves better when he's around me.
Wow, that's rough. Do you have a favorite color, Thorastra?
Hmm.
I'm just in my head. I'm saying, don't say yellow. Don't say yellow.
Forest green.
Better. Perfect. Remember that, Ludo.
I will.
Adrie's gonna look at Kaeviir.
What?
Nothing. You're just very social this evening.
He
Well-
knows we're leaving the ship and he's gonna get -3 elves and soon.
Hmm.
It probably put him in a good mood.
I can't say that my heart isn't singing at the thought of your departures.
Oh.
An elven song, if that helps.
Oh, I can play one right now if you'd like.
There's a lot of vowels that touch in this sentence.
So, the three begin to get their gear ready. Thrasta and Ludo both hug Adrie before they go.
She will hug them back.
Thrasta walks over to DH Adrie.
Look up. She's got like grease on her
So
arms.
grease. How did you get grease on? It's magic cannon. There's no grease in
Don't
there.
worry about it.
You're just faking it. She's
Don't
spreading
worry.
grease around on things that don't need grease.
He's like,
This panel was stuck.
you'll find what you're looking for.
Thank you.
Liodins always find their way home.
She nods.
Plus, you have my daughter, my other, Mert. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. She won't let you down. You have her in you. She didn't give up on me and she got me back. You'll get yours back.
Thank you.
I have a necromancer to go kill. So,
Oh.
good luck with your
Exciting.
cannon.
Yeah.
She looked to the young one. I bet he's a handful.
Good luck.
You too. Rayne, thank you for taking care of my family.
I salute. You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Kaeviir, as well. Thank you.
Invoice is in the mail.
Don't worry. The family has money. They'll pay it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know I was traveling with a rich girl.
Just send it back to my mother. Ludo's like,
Adri-
fuck, not her.
Adri looks around confused. He's like, who is he talking about?
Ludo leans over. Your grandmother sucks.
Ludo,
Can't be right.
Sir,
I'm gonna hold my hand out,
he goes to take it,
shake hands.
shakes it.
Step lightly,
Keep her safe.
obviously.
All right. You good luck with your demons. We'll go take ours.
That's when I mentioned nobody noticed. He called me sir. So, just probably something to make note of. Serious.
Why? Do you want it to be contagious?
They head down and wait for Kaeviir to let them into the lab to use the mirror.
I let him in.
Adri is gonna walk with her mother and father like right up to the mirror.
Ludo pulls out a scroll and hands it to Adrie.
What's this?
I don't know if I gave you this yet.
What is this?
The Veil of the Blue Dream.
Okay.
It'll get you out of Barovia.
Okay. Well, I can't leave yet because you guys have to come back here first.
Well, technically, as long as we remember how to dial you, as long as we find one of those dial mirrors, we'll find you.
Well, be safe. If you can message me, you have to be specific when you try to reach out to me.
I still remember the time you called two of us.
I don't think
Yes.
that's going to be a problem. I'm going to slap him on the shoulder again.
Yeah.
Well, we can't start missing till you get gone.
So, all right. They activate the mirror and Ludo goes first.
She's gonna hug Ludo before he goes through the mirror.
He gives her a strong hug. Holds
He,
it for a
grabs
second too long.
Grabs his shoulder.
Dick. He goes through. Thrust looks at Gender. You're next.
She's already ordering them around.
He nods and Gender goes through. We're off to kill the wizard. Thrust looks at her. I'll find you again.
I know.
You've gotten stronger.
Thank you. Be safe.
Safe is not what it's gonna be, but we'll be good. Try to keep your armor clean. You have
Okay.
like this perma stain on it right
I
now.
just it got this isn't
I know.
it got blackened, so it's like when you dye clothes, so it's cool. I also
Yeah.
can't get it out, so
Yeah. Your father mentioned you might have the dove.
yes,
Keep it safe.
of course.
That was the first piece of real jewelry your father ever bought for me. Bastard couldn't get me a ring. He gives her one more hug and heads through the door.
All right.
Or the mirror.
Adriel kind of pauses and be like, Mom, language. You've been a sellsword for way too long.
Those three are gone for now.
She'll take a deep breath, kind of watch the mirror for a few seconds, and then turn around. Well,
All right.
It feels better already.
it wasn't that bad.
No. Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail.
Before we
All right,
start,
let
can
me-
we take like 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that real quick. I'm sorry.
I'm curious. We'll cut this chunk out.
Mhm.
What do you think about Ludo the Professional? Thoughts?
I think it's unexpected, but very cool. Ludo does have kind of a weird ability to just show up in places.
He's kind of always at least, even if he's not like on the scene right now,
Mhm.
when he shows up, he's prepared for the scene. Do you know what I mean? Like he comes with a map that shows the person that I'm about to go look for, or you know what I mean? Like he's just, every time he's around, he like is connected to the thing that we're doing.
Yeah. And I think all the versions of Ludo that we've met have all been sort of kind of related to like some spy work. Like he's either
Yeah.
a spy for Strahd, he works with the Harpers, stuff like that.
He's unnatural. Yeah. I mean, he's still shitty, but he'll get better. He's got no training. I mean, like his blank slate's pretty solid, right? He's got no training. The guy's a little baby. Like, and he's just out here spying it up and fucking tracking people and like
Disguising
got people-
himself.
I'm saying this guy, and he's a performer. So look, I think he'll be good.
Mhm.
Listeners learn to shut the fuck up sometimes. Look, you have to learn to shut the fuck up before you can learn to be mouthy, right? You don't get to just start like this. It took a long time to learn to shut the fuck up. And then it was real easy to slip back into shit talking again. But you have to learn to shut the fuck up. It's important. I think it's probably the first lesson they're going to teach him. We're just going to beat him until he gets it.
That's not true.
Professional training sucks assholes. Like it is really bad. Like, and if you fail, you don't just go home and be like, oh, I tried to be a professional, but I couldn't. They kill you. Like they kill you. That's why it's so secretive. You can't just, a lot of people fail. That's why you got to make sure they're on board. I'm like, they will kill you if you fuck it up. You can't leave with detailed knowledge of how to fucking do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they'll just cut your head off and bury it in a separate grave.
Oh my God.
And then burn the body.
Damn.
Let me run to the restroom before we start back.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Ludo would be a good professional eventually.
I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to have, like, Kaeviir's been thinking about it for a minute. Like, I gave him a lot of shit, but it's sort of like a test. You know what I mean? like to see how he handles it, and he always shit talks back. That's nice. Like a lot of people, like after a while, just don't like you. But he's still. I mean, I just has a lot of traits in common with him. You know.
Yeah.
Also, at some point, I think it would be cool to play a young professional, like a new agent, like someone who's not got the rebirth thing, who doesn't,
Hmm.
who's just like, this is my first 6 months out of fucking becoming a professional. He's like number 97 or something like that. And he
Nice.
like, and he like finds Ludo or something like that. And they're like, tell me about your master. And they're like, oh, Master Kaeviir. It's like, oh shit. I heard about him. He's awesome.
Yeah. Nah, his Ludo's base was Sword Bard,
Oh
College
yeah.
of the Swords.
Hmm.
College of Swords is fucking rad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just
Ah.
interesting to me, and that's why I asked him the color, because when there's like a lot of tests and things like that, and one of the tests after a series of like you do something and you get it wrong and you get severely punished is to just pick something that you like, and they will give you like 3 colors that you have to pick which one you like best, and you're so mentally fucked that they judge how long it would take you to pick your favorite of the 3 colors, which is something that only you can know, right? But
Hmm.
because you're so hesitant from all the other things that you've chosen and gotten wrong, or you answered this question incorrectly and you've been fucking not allowed to eat, or you're kept from speaking for a year. Do you know what I mean? Like you're the decision making is crippling. So I was trying to give him an edge. Hey, what's your favorite color? So that when it comes time, you know, see how quick that
Nice.
answer was? It's easy. It's easy to pick your favorite color, like a nod. So when they come time to have him pick his favorite color and he sees green, he's just gonna be like, that one, like right away. Not yellow. Never pick yellow.